And Hurt got the whole sound systems and playing. He got that from American DJs. He didn't get it from no Jamaican shit. And he says that. He has said that. He's on record saying that. It's all of this shit about Jamaicans brought us sound systems and all this crazy bullshit. Like, these people would have had to ship the sound system from America to Jamaica. We go right down to the 125th or Fordham Road or wherever the fuck you lived at, 149th Street, 3rd Ave, Sears.
Sears, yeah.
Wherever the fuck.
Right.
And buy you a goddamn system. Almost everybody had record players and shit in their crib. That's why they needed sound systems, because most people were so poor that they didn't even have a record player in Jamaica. A lot of people let's keep it real, there wasn't even electricity all over the fucking island. You think these people are gonna put us onto technology and hurt that?
So views and points expressed from on this show ain't necessarily mine. I'm just sharing the content. All right.
People were playing music outside. They were playing breaks and all of that. What he's supposed to be credited for is the merry-go-round, which made the break extend. People said they was already doing that with disco beats at times, but not necessarily with the break beats. So they would play like the James Brown, and when the break part would come, people would get down and do their thing, but then that's it. You see what I'm saying? So he noticed that that's the part where they really got crazy. So he's like, if I could extend that part, that'll be some shit. And that's really what he's credited for. He's not credited for bringing sound systems outside and all this type of shit. He's not credited for the idea of 2 turntables and all of this type of shit. Like, he's credited for that part. And if he did that, thank you. People were playing music.
All right, video 3.
Like, a speaker is just a speaker until hip hop comes out of it. A record player is just a fucking record player till we touch it and start scratching it and doing what the fuck we do with it. Right, so all of these mediums of technology really doesn't fucking matter.
But taking that same concept, hip hop is not hip hop unless it includes all of the elements, correct?
Wrong.
No?
Wrong. And let me prove it to you.
Go ahead.
Hip hop is still hip hop without a big sound system, without it being outside. Hang on, listen to me. Without it being outside. Remember, originally, my hip hop was on cassettes. So you telling me when we stopped using cassettes, it wasn't hip hop anymore when we moved to CDs? No. We had 45s and moved to 12 inches. Like, it's still fucking hip hop. Now listen to me. Like, a speaker is just a speaker until hip hop comes out of it. A record player.
Interesting points. Video number 4. Interesting take on breakdancing. That time be moving, yo.
Breakdancing been fucking faded out. I don't even know why they attach themselves to breakdancing, and I'll tell you why, to try to include the Puerto Ricans. Black people make dances every other fucking week. What the fuck are we holding on to breakdancing for? You know what came after breakdancing? The fucking freak. The fucking, the rock. That's why they're like, freak, y'all. A rock, y'all. They telling you what dance to do. Okay?
The rooftop.
The bat, the baseball bat, the wop, the Bismarcky, the Joski Love,
Correct.
the Inspector Gadget. Come on, like, stop it with this breakdance shit. The electric slide. How many versions of the electric slide exist just off the electric slide?
Yeah.
Why are we holding on to breakdancing? We put that down, and the Puerto Ricans picked it up when the movie cameras came in. You see? And that's why they're known. Breakdancing been fucking faded out. I don't even know why. It becomes a culture when it has its own lexicon. See, we had our own language. That's fresh. That's deaf, and we still have it. That's dope. Da 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 da. We have our own style. Okay. We have our own rituals, I guess you would call it. You know what I mean? Like hip hop rituals. These are things that make it culture. It becomes a culture when it has its own lexicon. See, we had our own language. That's fresh. That's deaf, and we still have it. That's dope. Da 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 da. We have our own style.
I eat too much.
We have our own rituals, I guess you would call it. You know what I mean? Like hip hop rituals. These are things that make it culture. It becomes a culture when it has its own lexicon. See, we had our own language. That's fresh. That's deaf, and we still have it. That's dope. Da 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 da. We have our own style. Okay. We have our own rituals, I guess you would call it. You know what I mean?
All right. So let's get to Tariq Nasheed and Dr. Colon exchange.
Are they talking about the B-boys? Because Charlie Rock says there wasn't a lot of B-boys, but then I bring up 5 foundational B-boy crews from 75 to 79, and he says I never heard of them.
Right.
So
Nobody's ever heard of those people.
No, that's not true, brother. That is true.
What flyers are they on?
TBB?
Yes. What flyers do you see those guys
I got
on?
flyers for you. I'll send you the flyers.
I would love
I'll
to see
send
them.
you the flyers. I'll
from
send
what
them to you.
and from what year?
Timmy Turner, please.
Right, the 70s. I'll send you the
I
flyers.
would like to see them. All
Okay.
of these other Puerto Rican b-boy crews you were naming, none of them are on flyers.
Yep, they're all on flyers.
Okay, so now Tariq made a claim they're not on flyers. He says they are on flyers. Does Tariq Nasheed correct himself, or do he still stand his ground? What happens?
No,
TBB
how
is
come
on
nobody?
flyers.
Whose flyer? I would love to see these flyers.
Jams.
Because
No,
nobody
you weren't
heard
with
of
us.
these guys.
Okay,
bro.
what if he got flyers? Now it wouldn't matter, right? I mean, like if the flyers, okay, if nobody heard of them matters, then why you need to see the flyers? I would just stand on, doesn't matter. Nobody heard of them. But if you got to see the flyers, then he show you the flyers. What you gonna do? You're gonna say, well, nobody ever heard of them. That's what's gonna happen.
And these
That's
weren't
not
really
true.
b-boy crews. These were just like little cliques of Puerto Rican dudes hanging with each other. They weren't really b-boy crews. You're saying they're b-boy crews. Nobody knew them.
Okay, I can see where he's going with that a little bit. He's saying that I guess b-boy crews recognize b-boy crews. But you got to see. I don't know. It's tricky because you can't then say they're just a regular crew emphatically and absolutely. Like that's up for discussion. Like you don't know. You got to see the flyer. You got to ask about these guys, and you go from there. But you can't just dismiss what this proof he's bringing without a thorough investigation.
Are they talking about the B-boys? Because Charlie Rock says there wasn't a lot of B-boys, but then I bring up 5 foundational B-boy crews from 75 to 79, and he says I never
So he said five foundational 75, 79. That's very early.
heard of them.
Right.
So
Nobody's ever heard of those people.
So Charlie Rock said never heard of them. But the question now to Charlie Rock would be, have you heard of all the B-boy crews? Like, were you supposed to? Like, was that your job to document all the B-boy crews? Like, just because you never heard of them, it doesn't mean they didn't exist.
No, that's not true, brother. That's
That
not
is true. What flyers are they on?
TBB?
Yes. What flyers do you see those guys
I got
on?
flyers for you. I'll send you the flyers.
I would love
I'll
to see
send
them.
you the flyers. I'll
From
send
what
them to you.
and from what year?
Right, the
35.
70s. I'll send you the
I
flyers.
would like to see them. All
Okay.
of these other Puerto Rican b-boy crews you were naming, none of them are on flyers.
Yeah, they're all on flyers, bro.
Okay, so Tariq does that. So I would have, this guy too eager to debate. I'd have been like, Tariq, how do you know? And two, if they were, does that mean something? Like, because you just said they weren't, as though it means something. They weren't on flyers, as though being on a flyer substantiates something. So I would want to know, does that add validation they were on a flyer? And once he said yes, okay, got the flyers for you. Stupid.
No,
TBB
how
is
come
on
nobody?
flyers.
Whose flyer? I would love to see these flyers.
Jams.
Because
No,
nobody
you weren't
heard
with
of these
us.
guys, bro. And these
Nobody heard of them. Well, besides you and Charlie Rock, you ain't heard of them. So you didn't know to ask people when you did the documentary, have you heard of these guys? So it sounds like you didn't really do like thorough research before your documentary. That's what it sounds like on the surface.
weren't really b-boy crews. These were just like little cliques of Puerto Rican dudes hanging with each other. They weren't really b-boy crews. You're saying they're b-boy crews. Nobody knew them.
Are they talking about the B-boys?
That's a good comeback. It's like, which is valid. Like, dude, you can't find like 5 Latinos hanging together and say, hey, that's a B-boy crew. Well, I'm saying, like, you can't look back now and find a picture of like your cousins posted up and say, hey, that's a B-boy crew. You know, just like when somebody take a picture like this, and somebody say, hey, look, that's the Illuminati. It's like, dude, come on. Really? Like when I took that picture, none of us talking about the damn Illuminati. When I was 10 years old, who was saying that? Okay. Like some of the stuff means just rock on, whatever. All right. So let's go next video. Okay, here we go. Well, that was the first video. Wow. Yeah, so it looks like Tariq being a little emotional, a little pseudo.
And even your guy, when you had him on your broadcast, they were saying that they got their dancing from black people.
Who's that?
All right, so that's the claim. So Tariq claimed is that Dr.Colon guy, when he was on Dr.Colon platform, the guys claimed they got the dances from black people. So that was Tariq's understanding of what happened on Dr.Colon's platform. Let's see if he agrees.
Your guy. What's
guy?
your guy? Was it Batch? Yeah, Batch.
No, he didn't say he got dancing from black people. He said that hip hop comes from black Americans. Yes.
They learned it from black people. They learned it from black people. Dude.
Okay, Tariq Nasheed. Learning hip hop from black people does not mean they learn how to dance from black people or break dance. That doesn't mean that. I don't know where's the logic coming from. This is what happens when you have an agenda and you do research bias behind it. You should have first researched hip hop to find its earliest origins, and then concluded like, hey, this is an FBA thing. Wow. Or you know what I mean. But when you have your narrative already set, you're gonna do confirmation bias, which it sounds like you did a little bit of that, or a lot.
Don't twist the man's words. They got it from black people, dude. That's what he said on your broadcast. They got
Yeah, but what's the that though, Tariq? The that is hip hop. The that isn't dancing.
it from black people.
That's not what he
man,
said.
that's what he
That's
said,
not
man.
what
Don't
he
try to
said.
mix the words.
Tariq, come on. He said,
Dude, so he's saying hip hop came from black
yes,
people.
that's
okay.
what he said. Right?
All right, so is he a liar?
Wait. See, you said how he's trying to switch it. Is he a liar about hip hop? But you said earlier that it was dancing they got from black people, and you were wrong. See, instead of just saying, okay, dancing, he didn't say it, but he did say hip hop. Was he wrong? But you can't make the argument and then stand on it that his interviewee said they got dancing from black folks, and he never said that. You don't correct yourself. Now that's crazy.
He a liar if he said hip hop comes from black people. Your own guy, the Puerto Rican Batch, who's a part of this magnificent crew that you're talking about, saying that hip hop came from black people. Is your boy lying?
No, he's not lying. He's talking about the rap industry. That's what he's talking about.
Oh Lord! And even your guy, when you had him on your broadcast, they were saying,
So sorry, come on now, you gotta do better than that, bro. You're looking real shady right now. You were wrong. You didn't want to admit it. I ate way too much, yo. I'm bugging. I usually make 2 medium-sized turkey burgers, and that's it. I decided to make 3 large turkey burgers and then eat fries on top of it. Wow, like as I'm hungry, I didn't eat a burger yet. I want to make fries. I never eat 3 turkey burgers. I ate 3 large turkey burgers. I am, oh my God. And then I should have went right to sleep. My dumb ass come live. When somebody wake up, well, I get sleep. I guarantee it happens every time. Every time. But I tell you one thing, we're going to go early tonight. Because your boy is tired. Oh, God.
Did you see the second video that he made?
oh Lord, explain it. Now explain
No,
it.
I mean, did you see the second? He made it. I didn't make it. He made it.
He said hip hop came from his black brothers. He said your Puerto Rican brethren said hip hop came from black people.
That's not the argument. You argue dancing. You argue that the guy said dancing, break dancing comes from black people. You argue that. You didn't argue hip hop. Now you switch to hip hop. This is what they do when I debate. They switch it.
That's what he said. Now you're trying to remix what he said.
No. But you're remixing what you originally said. You said dancing. See, this you can tell that this Dr. Colon got this in the debate. Like he probably just researched shit like that, get archived, collect the archives. Tariq debates. So he's like more experienced in this type of interaction. And he got Dr. Colon just defending like nothing. Like, dude, Tariq, you made the claim that his interviewee got breakdance from black folks, and both of you now are agreeing he never said that. He said hip hop, and now you want to, which is the rap industry in the interviewee's mind, and now you're trying to stick to that. You want to avoid or abandon the original argument was that he said his Latinos got or Puerto Ricans got breakdance from black folks. So like, come on, Tariq.
Tariq.
Right.
Tariq.
So why are you denying it? Okay, if he said it, why are you denying it?
Now he ran straight from this.
I'm not denying it. I'm telling you what he meant by what he said.
Oh, he meant something else.
That's what he's saying. I can't speak for him, bro.
Okay, yes, Dr. Colon, like I said, he's not a debater, but what he's saying is, I'm telling you what so Dr. Colon, this is how you supposed to word that. You're supposed to say, no, I'm telling you what he said he meant when he said it. Because it comes off as Dr. Colon is telling you what he meant by his own words. He's not doing it. He's telling you whatever his name is. So I guess later, another interview, because what he said got took it out of context. So he went to re-clarify what he was saying, and he did a separate video for that. So that's what Dr. Colon is saying.
Family, see, this is what we're saying. This is why we're setting the record straight, because y'all doing this little word, this little sleight of hand game.
Brother.
Well,
and that's crazy because the word game is coming from Tariq. He's the one that said breakdancing, and now he's arguing hip hop, and then he twisting up Dr.Colon words, and then he accuses him for playing word games. But like I said, this is what happens when you try to debate somebody who's experienced and you don't know how to debate. You just have good information. Like, you get tripped up. That's why everybody with good information doesn't want to debate, because they're not debaters. They're just good. They're just good with gathering good information.
Meant something else. He said this, but it meant something. That's why we have to get the record straight with you and the Fat Joes out here.
Did you see the second video that he made?
Oh, Lord, explain it. Now explain
No,
it.
I mean, did you see the second? He made it. I didn't make it. He made it.
All right, so let's go next video. This is what happens when you research, when you do a documentary with confirmation bias, and you're not really trying to gather all the facts sincerely, indiscriminately. He had an agenda, and he researched to support it. He's guilty of it, hands down, because he would have known the people he's bringing up if he did thorough research, especially in pioneers like you said.
Do you think it's responsible of you, somebody who's doing a documentary at that caliber, that you're going to do yours? Do you think it's responsible that you're saying that these other crews did not exist or nobody knew about them? Have you tried to speak to any of these people?
See, and that's what I just said. It's like, dude, so that means the document is not done yet. So like, if anything, like, you know how Wikipedia does something like, Wikipedia has a disclaimer. Wikipedia will put something on there that may be true and maybe not, but it'll tell you by saying citation needed. So it's like, take this with a grain of salt. Like, this is some founded news or information, but we didn't validate it yet, but so far it sounds like it could be right, but we haven't validated completely yet. So we'll just put it there and put citation needed, and that's the way to back up off it. Tariq Nasheed, at the very least, he should have mentioned some of these things that the brother's telling him, the Spanish brother telling him, and just put like a question mark, like, so this, you still can have your narrative. FBA's created hip hop, but you can put in there, there's a claim that these 5 Latino b-boy groups were around during the early 70s or mid 70s. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, because like, that's being transparent. But like he just said, you just like make a documentary talking about the history and origin of hip hop, and just omit that evidence that's he's bringing up. It's crazy. So let me go back. That's crazy.
It's responsible of you, somebody who's doing a documentary at that caliber, that you're going to do yours. Do you think it's responsible that you're saying that these other crews did not exist or nobody knew about them? Have you tried to speak to any of these people?
It's responsible to tell the truth, because many people within your community, the white Latino community, are going around here trying to colonize our culture by lying.
Now, what did that have to do with anything he just said? Now, you're going to talk about explaining. That's explaining. I'm not going to just what you just said. I'm going to justify why. I'm going to dismiss your question and justify why I'm not going to be responsible and do what you said. And here's why.
And you weren't there.
Have you spoken to them?
Have you spoken
to any of these guys?
I've spoken to all of the pioneers, almost every significant pioneer. I don't need to speak to Batch.
Have you spoken to Charlie Chase?
I don't need to speak to Batch, but you're going to watch Dr.Colon and Batch interview, and Batch says some things that don't fit your narrative. So instead of you saying, hey, man, let me get a crack at him, did. I ain't got to film a documentary, but let me just get a crack at him. Let me ask the questions. Let me criticize. Let me scrutinize. Let me challenge him, and then at least I have him. Tariq Nasheed said I don't have to. That's wild.
Tried to speak to you and other Puerto Ricans. Y'all were ducking and dodging.
What about Batch? You just said you don't have to speak to him.
And dipping and diving.
When I tried to speak, that ducked out.
Right,
I was the only one that ducked out. I don't know.
Right. When I tried to speak to you, you kept dipping.
Do you think it's
that's not a good look for Dr. Colon? He's trying to speak to you. Now you're being shady. Like, why did you dip and dodge? I mean, now it looks like you had an agenda. I mean, just wacky stuff going on. All right, let's go back. All right. So we're almost, I can't say we're halfway through. I'm so full, man. Oh my God, I'm so full. That's something like this. I'm so way too much. I'm wild.
And the Brooklyn dudes, if you look at the interview that is on Mark Skill. Mark Skills did the interview with Cool DJ D, and they asked him all those big sound systems in Brooklyn, and he said the foundation of those sound systems come from Jamaica because the people who made those sound systems. Well, I'll send you the article, brother.
I'll send you the article. I got Cool D in the movie. I have Cool D in the article.
Then I got.
All right, so this is another case. It's like, it sounds kind of weird. I had to pause because the guy on the right, Dr. Colon, is saying Cool D, whatever his name is, says something contrary to Tariq's narrative. But then Tariq Nasheed said, well, I got Cool D in the movie. So it sounds like he said something contrary to what Dr. Colon was saying. But when you listen to this, it looks like Tariq Nasheed again jumped in too early and didn't listen to the claim that the DJD is making. Tariq jumped in too early.
I don't need an article. Cool D is in my movie. He said they knew about, they had equipment, they knew about sound systems. They can go down to Manhattan and get the sound system. What the hell they need to go to some damn Jamaican about a sound system for? And he told me where he got them. He told me where he got the sound systems in Manhattan. Dude, they can go down to Manhattan and get the sound. That's what he said. I'm telling you what he told me. Cool DJ.
I'm telling you what he said in the article. And the Brooklyn dudes.
All right, so we're gonna get there. Article coming next. Tariq just went on so long that I had to make 3 clips of that. No, 2 clips.
Why would they have to go to some damn Jamaican for a sound system and they can go right there to Manhattan, dude?
That's not what I said. He said.
What are you saying? What are you saying?
You're not listening.
I'm listening. What are you saying?
They asked him about the sound systems in Brooklyn, the big sound systems. And he said
they've had since the 1960s. But go ahead.
And he said that many of the people who built those sound systems, and he names the DJs in Brooklyn, were from Jamaica and brought that culture from Jamaica. That's what he said. Well, then he's lying.
All right, wait, I missed it. Let me go back. All right, Kenny Mack says Latinos did not invent. I mean, hip hop. They was there, but they didn't invent nothing. I don't think he's making that claim. Well, so according to Lord Jamar, there's elements of hip hop, right? But the rapping portion, Dr. Colon's not arguing. I think so far, Dr. Colon's only arguing the breakdancing element or the b-boying, something like that. I think he's saying that Latinos brought an element of breakdancing that was not in the hip hop culture. And then he's also saying that there's 2 claims. So that's one. And then the second claim is that Latinos were there when hip hop basically started. He's saying he got flyers of Latinos, b-boy Latinos from 75 to 79. So that's like early hip hop. That's like before Curtis Blow. Okay, 75 definitely. At least before we knew who Curtis Blow was. So that's where we are right now. So he's not saying that Latinos created hip hop itself. I don't think.
Horse crap.
I'll send you the
DJ
article.
Let me back it up.
About the sound systems. They asked him about the sound systems in Brooklyn, the big sound systems. And he said
they've had since the 1960s. But go ahead.
And he said that many of the people who built those sound systems, and he names the DJs in Brooklyn, were from Jamaica and brought that culture from Jamaica.
Okay, so he's not saying that they brought the equipment from Jamaica. He's saying that they used the what's in electronic stores at that time. They got those instruments out of there and I guess crafted them to the sound systems that started hip hop. That's what he's saying. He's not saying he brought them from Jamaica. He said he brought some of the Jamaican culture to Brooklyn to have enough sense to create those items to blast the sound. I think that's what he's saying.
But he said, well, then he's lying. Then he's lying.
Horse crap.
I'll send you the article.
No, he's telling the truth.
So yeah, so the debate for these two. The debate is, what were Latinos around early when hip hop was created? That's one. Two, did Latinos bring an element of breakdance that was not there in amongst Black folks in early hip hop? And now, three, were Jamaicans responsible for the sound systems, the blasting the music outside type shit? Like, is that a Jamaican invention over here to add to hip hop?
In my movie, I don't know what he told y'all. In my movie, they were doing that on their own.
I read this.
In fact, in fact, Kool Herc said that he got the sound system idea from the foundational Black Americans, the Black Americans over in Brooklyn. He saw them doing it. They were doing that already, having the block parties with the big systems. So why would they have to go to some damn Jamaican for a sound system?
That's not what he said. But so here's the thing, though. Because Lord Jamar said, nah, I'm going to save that. Until somebody want to debate.
I mean, they can go right there to Manhattan, dude.
That's not what I said. He said.
What are you saying? What are you saying?
Yeah, see, Tariq is arguing his emotions. He's not listening. That's not what he said. He didn't say that they physically brought equipment from Jamaica to Brooklyn, New York, United States. He's saying that the idea to use those instruments in Brooklyn as a part of hip hop, that idea comes from the Jamaican culture. So the Jamaican within them took that part of their culture and inserted it to an element into hip hop. That's what he's saying.
You're not listening.
I'm listening. What are you saying?
They asked him about the sound systems in Brooklyn, the big sound systems. And he said
they've had since the 1960s. But go ahead.
You're not listening. You keep interjecting. That's what you missed it the first time.
And he said that many of the people who built those sound systems, and he names the DJs in Brooklyn, were from Jamaica and brought that culture from Jamaica. That's what he said. Well, then he's lying.
Horse crap.
I'll send you the article.
Now he's telling the truth in my movie. I don't know what he told y'all. In my movie, they were doing that on their own.
I read this.
In fact, and I want you.
So how do you, if he's telling, let's say if he's giving contradictory statements, why would the statement he gave you be the truth and the lie? Like when something's contradictory, you just chalk it up as terrible, period. Nobody can use it. It's no credibility. It's a contradiction. You throw away contradictions. You don't cherry pick out of them. Just giving Tariq some heads up how to do this.
And in fact, Kool Herc said that he got the sound system idea from the foundational Black Americans, the Black Americans over in Brooklyn. He saw them.
That's a valid point because Lord Jamar said the same thing. Lord Jamar said, because Dr. Colon is arguing on behalf of Jamaicans right now. But Kool Herc, I never heard it myself, but from what I'm hearing, that Cool, and it's being regurgitated. They're saying that Cool Herc said that he got the sound system, thing from Black American FBAs. So that's so far the consensus. All right, on that. They're saying Cool Herc said he got it from FBAs.
Them doing it. They were doing that already, having the block parties with the big systems. Why would they have to go to some damn Jamaican for a sound system and they can go right there to Manhattan, dude?
That's not what I said. He said.
What are you saying? What are you saying?
So we got that. Move on to the next talking point. Here we go. Okay, now we're going to breakdancing.
Sure.
When the breakdown of a
and I want to play Crazy Legs from Math Hoffa, but Math Hoffa and Vlad, they stay flagging, bro. Oh boy.
When the drums come on, we start hitting the floor. That's the foundation.
I'll do it anyway. I'm gonna go after I'm done with these next couple of clips. I'm gonna go and get Crazy Legs. I don't know what he's saying. I never watched it because I like to do real live reactions. So I'm gonna go and get his segment on Math Hoffa and see what he says.
American culture.
You ain't hitting the floor, but I get what you're saying. Yeah.
No,
I get
we
what
were.
you're saying.
Yes, we were hitting the floor.
Now this part, I'm thinking Tariq Nasheed was chasing this part right here. Lazy, you are funny.
When the breakdown of when the drums come on, we start hitting the floor. That's the foundational Black American culture.
You ain't hitting the floor, but I get what you're saying. Yeah.
No, we were. Yes, we were hitting the floor. What do you mean we weren't hitting the floor? There's video of us hitting the floor in the 1960s, 50s, 40s, but in the 1960s, there's videos of us hitting the floor. What are you talking about?
Now you ain't gonna try and say that's breaking, are you? Please don't try to say that's breaking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, this is what he's chasing. Tariq, that was not. Oh my God. Oh.
You mean we weren't hitting the floor? There's video of us hitting the floor in the 1960s, 50s, 40s, but in the 1960s, there's videos of us hitting the floor. What are you talking about?
Now you ain't gonna try and say that's breaking, are you? Please don't try to say that's breaking.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. This is where Tariq go a little crazy. I mean, he said that they were breakdancing, and then you see the videos. They're doing nothing close. Like, do you think James Brown was breakdancing?
Okay. Yes. Okay. It's the same thing.
I'm sure Charlie Rock.
You look at episodes of Soul Train. You see us hitting the floor, early 70s.
You doing?
Oh my God. Soul Train hitting the floor.
Is that not breaking?
No, you're doing splits and drops.
Okay, so it looks like Tariq Nasheed doesn't know what consists of breaking.
That's not breaking. You're doing splits and drops. That's what you're doing.
Dude, they're doing way more than splits and drops on the
Soul
floor.
Train.
Yes.
Now he's just saying they're doing way more than splits and drops. Now, I've been watching Soul Train, but he's talking about when you hit the floor. Keep in mind what the context. Context is when they hit the floor. What are they doing? Are they breaking or are they just hitting the floor, doing splits and drops?
On Soul Train,
they're pop locking, doing splits and drops, pin drops. And that's what it's
called. Doing stuff, and they're doing other sweeps on the floor as well.
They're doing sweeps.
Sure. Breakdown of when the drums come on.
I definitely remember seeing sweeps. All right, but none of that is what we know breakdancing. So Tariq Nasheed, that's one he took an L. Yeah, a clear L. Yeah, they were not breakdancing on Soul Train. Sorry. Okay, so we got two more clips. I'm gonna go to Crazy Legs. What Kenny Mack says, Lazy Legs.
Let me explain. Let me explain.
Boy, the splaining is.
Let me explain.
Go ahead. Let me hear this. Let me hear this. Let me hear this. Go ahead. What's the difference? Lord.
So, top rock, 6-step, freezes.
All right. So he's explaining the elements of what is considered breaking or breakdancing.
Let me explain.
Boy, the explaining is.
Let me explain.
Go ahead. Let me hear this. Let me hear this. Let me hear this. Go ahead. What's the difference? Lord.
So, top rock, 6-step freezes. That's breaking.
No. You can have some Kenny Matt because he said Latinos admit that blacks definitely. I guess he's saying pop locking was there, splits and drops were there. He's saying rapping. You did rapping was there. So they're not claiming. So from what I'm hearing from Dr. Colon, he's not Derek Colon. He's not saying that blacks ain't doing anything. He's saying Latinos irrefutably brought the element of, or some elements of breakdancing, if not all, but definitely some elements of breakdancing to the hip hop culture. That's all he's saying. So now he's explaining what breaking actually is. Let's go back.
Boy, the explaining is.
Let me explain.
Go ahead. Let me hear this. Let me hear this. Let me hear this. Go ahead. What's the difference? Lord.
So, top rock, 6-step freezes. That's breaking.
Oh, stop.
And then you see them incorporating.
Says who? No.
All right, now that's a good question. Great question. Says who? Like who defines what breakdancing is, or who defines the foundational blocks of breakdancing? Not a bad question.
Ask Charlie Rock. He'll tell you the same thing.
Okay, so now that's a point to Dr. Colon, because I'm guessing Charlie Rock is somebody black. I'm new to this argument. I've been listening, but I haven't really been really focused. Okay, so let's see who else Charlie Rock is. I don't know. I think it's a whole bunch of shit here. Charlie Rock. I don't know. Hip hop. Okay, so I'm guessing this is Charlie Rock right here. This guy and that guy. The Spanish guy. Puerto Rican. I should have researched him too, but I could always do a part two. I could always do a part two and get his take, because he got a couple parts. So I would like to see what his argument is. So I'll do part two and it'll be Charlie Rock and maybe some Crazy Legs.
He'll tell you the same thing.
Well, Charlie Rock also said the Puerto Ricans weren't there, so you don't believe him. But he also
he didn't say the Puerto Ricans weren't there. He said there weren't a lot of us.
No,
that's
y'all
what he
weren't.
said. I have him on tape, bro.
And I have him on tape too.
I know. And he didn't say
y'all
there
came
weren't
later.
a lot of us. He's in the trailer, bro. He's saying it in the trailer. The trailer
they're
you
saying
put
that
up,
y'all came
he's
late.
saying they weren't there. Like a lot of them like that. That's what he's saying. Let me explain.
All right, the last clip before the Crazy Legs. So this is pretty much the end of this debate. So like I said, part two, I'll do Charlie Rock, part one and part two and part three of it, whatever you got going on. And then I will show Tariq Nasheed arguing, debating somebody else, another Latino.
The foundation was from 75, and it's top rock, it's footwork, it's freezes. That's
and top rock and top rock dances. We've been doing that since the 1890s. That's the Charleston.
It's not the same thing.
1890s. Tariq is wild.
It's the exact same thing. It's the exact same thing. It's the Charleston and the Lindsay Hop.
All right, dance, that's all. The rock dance. The rock dance.
Let me look up the Charleston and Lindsay Hop. Let me see this shit for myself. Okay. Charleston line dance to Lindy Hop. Okay. All right, let's see if this shit is breakdance.
That's something you might want to see.
This is my favorite part.
All right, turkey bugging. All right, hold on. Let me see some black folks doing it. All right, because Tony, white folks doing it? All right, here we go. Here we go. Tariq, I bet she's some breakdancing, man. That's a real bitch.
Charleston is frequently thought of as the grandfather of Lindy Hop. It's a dance that you can do solo and partnered, and as is the case with six count, it's much easier to do this dance partnered if you already have it in your body. So consider getting into solo jazz. If you're interested, we have a lot of videos where you can just follow along. Charleston rose to popularity in the 1923 Broadway musical Runnin' Wild, which
now, Tariq would have a better argument if he said that whatever the dude described, the key elements of breakdancing was an evolved version of the Lindy Hop, but to say it's the same thing as well.
Unusually at the time, an African-American cast. The most famous song, Charleston, was written by an African-American composer, James P. Johnson. You know the song. Down, 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 ba-dum, bum, bum. But the dance's history is much older and more interesting. Charleston, South Carolina, a port city, was the capital of the slave trade. And
nearly that's why I'm there right now.
40% of all enslaved Africans came through that port. By the mid-1800s, there were some 4 million enslaved Africans in the United States, and nearly 10% of them, or 400,000 people, lived in South Carolina. The Gullah Geechee people are descendants of the Africans who were enslaved on the rice, indigo, and Sea Island cotton plantations of the lower Atlantic coast. Many came from the rice-growing region of West Africa and Sierra Leone. The Gullah Geechee were generally outnumbered by slaves from other areas of Africa, but not in South Carolina and Georgia, and this concentration allowed them to share elements of language, custom, culture, cuisine, and dance. Here you can see a Gullah Geechee boy doing early Charleston in front of the Jenkins Orphanage Band, which has a crazy interesting history in and of itself.
That ain't breakdancing.
Which we won't go into. To further connect the origin of Charleston to Africa, according to jazz dance, Charleston proved similar to a dance called the King Sailor in Trinidad and an Ebolo dance of the Igbo tribe in West Africa. And at this point, I just want to take a moment to say I'm so sorry for my pronunciation of everything. Now, of course, if you watch early footage, Charleston is most strongly associated with white flappers. Because, I mean, of course it was. Anyhow, back to the grandfather of Lindy Hop. You can really see the link between Lindy Hop and Charleston in the 1929 clip After Sieben. After 7? I'm not sure. Anyhow, the third couple, Shorty Stump and Liza Underdunk, just kidding, their real names are Shorty George Snowden and Maddie Purnell, are doing this thing called the breakaway, which is the link between front-to-front Charleston and the swing out we know and love today. Note about that clip, the announcer, James Barton, is in blackface. When you talk about Lindy Hop history, you're gonna run into some racism.
Okay, so I see what, I can see what part of the breakdancing he's talking about, okay? Because he's not talking about the floor. He's talking about this, like before they get on the floor. Okay, I can almost see it now. Let me do this. Great dancing Olympics. Okay. Oh, this bitch was wild. This kangaroo shit. This was the most disgusting shit. That was the most disgusting shit I've ever seen in my life. That shirt there. Oh my gosh, she was an embarrassment to all white people globally. Oh my god, that bitch is terrible. Okay, so now we go to the B-boys. Damn, man. Oh. if anybody became racist towards white people after that kangaroo dance,
Okay, so we're at the film festival, middle of Park City. The doors open, and bang.
All right, so I'm guessing that part right there is the Lindy Hop. Okay, not that part, obviously. Dang, what? All right, that was crazy. All right. So Tariq claim is like that before they get to the ground. I guess that's the Lindy Hop. I don't know, but it does. I can see a little bit there.
Dance is a myth. That's a lot. That's a myth that y'all done created. There's no rock dance that we were influenced by at all.
The rock dance and the Latin breakdown.
Ain't no Latin breakdown and the rock dance. So the crack rock dance, because you got to be smoking. You got to be smoking crack rock to believe that y'all influenced us with some damn rock dance. Give me a break, all right? It's the crack rock dance.
What instruments do you hear in the breaks?
You hear foundational Black American drums. You hear percussions. That's what you hear in the breaks, and you hear funk. You hear funk being hit on the one. That's what you hear.
The foundation was from 75, and it's top rock. It's footwork, it's freezes. That's
and top rock dances. We've been doing that since the 1890s. That's the Charleston.
It's not the same thing.
It's the exact same thing. It's
I'm trying to be fair. The top rock, it's not that far of a stretch to make that connection. It's not that far of a stretch. Because they said it could be done in groups or in isolation. So, yeah, that's not that far of a stretch. I'm trying to be unbiased as a person. I know what I watched from the Lindy Hop, from whites to Africans out the country to modern time, and that's not that far of a reach. But anyway, Dr. Colon was on the ground. Most of the argument.
It's the exact same thing. It's the Charleston and the Lindsay Hop. All right,
that's all it is. Rock dance. The rock dance
is a myth.
All right, so let me see what that is. Rock dance. I guess it's some Latino dance. I have no idea what you're saying. Like you're saying rock dance, rock, like Egypt dance. Okay. Oh my God. I gotta see this. Asian drug trafficking. Oh. I gotta see that. Wait, they didn't win, did they? I swear they lost this game. I know they didn't win. I keep hearing about a Hail Mary, but I'm thinking like it was interception because the last I know, the Bears won. I don't. All right, let me do the rock dance. Let me do the rock dance first. Okay, rock dance moves. Okay, so I think it is called a rock dance. All right, so let me see, because maybe this is it. Maybe, let's see. I need to know how old it was also. How catch? I remember this right here. Okay, so they saying that look a little bit like top rock. That looks more closer. I think I know what that is now. And if I think I know what it is, it looks more closer to. It looks more closer to what goes on in I don't know. I mean, it did look a little more closer to breakdancing than the Lindy. All right, all right. Yeah, I need to know who won the game now. But oh shit! So they actually won. That's wild. I thought, yeah, I swear, there's like 20 seconds left on the clock. I'm like, this game I turned off, and this game I turned off. Like I knew the game was over. I mean, I didn't see the Cowboys score 24. I was like, it's over. Well, I went to bed when it was 27 to like 17. And this one, I thought, wow, now I got to see that. All right, let's get back.
That's a myth that y'all done created. There's no rock dance that we were influenced by at all.
The rock dance and the Latin breakdown.
There ain't no Latin breakdown.
All right, so let's check out the Latin breakdown. I think this that scammer. The Latin breakdown. Okay, so some people question it. All right, let's see. It's nothing on it. Okay, let's try this right here. Are they gonna show a video? And that's definitely breakdancing. Oh, that right there. Oh, that definitely looked like some. Yeah. That definitely looked more closer to breakdancing. Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Not that bullshit. What the fuck he doing? That was interesting. I won't discount that. Donnie.
Down in the rock dance. So the crack rock dance, because you gotta be smoking crack rock to believe that y'all influenced us
Tariq like
with
a
some damn
comedian,
rock
so
dance.
he will deflect with jokes.
Give me a break, all right? It's the crack rock dance.
What instruments do you hear in the breaks?
You hear foundational Black American drums. You hear percussions. That's what you hear in the breaks, and you hear funk. You hear funk being hit on the one. That's what you hear.
The foundation was from 75, and it's top rock, it's footwork, it's freezes. That's
and top rock and top rock dances, we've been doing that since the 1890s. That's the Charleston.
I'm guessing he's linking. I'm guessing he's linking. He said what instruments you hear. I'm thinking he's trying to say in 75 the Latin breakdance, whatever. I don't know. I'm trying to follow that it was Latino instruments that was in the breakdown. I don't know. I'm guessing.
It's not the same thing.
It's the exact same thing. It's the exact same thing. It's the Charleston and the Lindsay hop. All right,
rock dance.
That's all it is.
Rock dance.
The rock dance is a myth. That's a lie. That's a myth that y'all done created. There's no rock dance that we were influenced by at all.
The rock dance and the Latin breakdown.
There ain't no Latin breakdown and the rock dance. So the crack rock dance, because you gotta be smoking crack rock to believe that y'all influenced us with some damn rock dance. Give me a break, all right? It's the crack rock dance.
What instruments do you hear in the breaks?
Okay, all right. So that was it on that. That was